So I ask everyone to help me thank her in our way for everything. Thank you for your leadership. When I walked in here, I remember my days in Cleveland. Cleveland is, for some of you who know, is a Midwestern American city. And that's where I was in my schooling in the United States. And when I first came to Cleveland, I used to spend my time, my days, every day in the City Hall chamber and City Council meetings. And I would just come and walk in, and I'll go all the way in the back and sit there and watch everybody. The mayor with the executive team, with the, going back and forth with the city council members, sitting next to the city council president, talking about issues such as the dogs barking in the east side of Cleveland, to the bills that we should pass about Cleveland clinics paying taxes or not. So all kinds of issues. That's how I learned the bottoms of politics. Because when I came to Cleveland, I was there back in the early 2000s. So when I arrived in America at that time, if you remember, that's when President Clinton was leaving office. And at that time we had a surplus. So we were doing pretty well. I remember sending money home in Senegal to my mother. To send 70,000 CFA, you would probably send $100. $150, right? Then by 2003, the end of George Bush's first term, that's when the economic losses started, the crash of our economy. So to send money to Senegal, I had to double the money. I know some of my African friends here understand what I'm talking about. We always, in the end of the month, have to run to Western Union. Even when you don't run to Western Union, the family is going to call you at 4 o'clock in the morning and ask you to call me right back. They don't know what time it is, they don't know you got the money, you're sleeping, they don't even know you have to buy a phone card to call them, right? Now we have Skype, we got, all this good stuff, Viber and WhatsApp. Life is a little easier for us, but Africans abroad, it was very difficult for us in the early 2000s because every money we have, we got to use it to buy scratch phone cards. You remember those cards? You scratch it $10 and you call and it's not finished, you call it back, and as soon as you send the family some money, they will never call you back and say thank you until the money's finished. So I heard about, my candidate told me about, Shirley Smith told me about the Young Democrats, so I went to join the Young Democrats. I came, as always, I sit in the back and watch everyone. They didn't know I was coming to snatch the presidency. I lost the first time. The second year, I became the president. When I had that, it gave me leverage. Now, everybody in Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio, wanted to be into politics. You need young people, you're going to talk to me, because I have the constituency. It gives me leverage, and next thing you know, 2006, my candidate introduced me to Senator Obama. Again, when you really give, you receive things you don't expect. I remember having a conversation with Senator Obama in Columbus, Ohio in 2006 in the fundraiser we had, and the president told me, at that time he was a senator, John, never forget where you come from. No matter how good you do in this country, never forget that Africa needs you. And I never forgot that advice. I talk about it in the book. A few months later, the president decided to run for office. We went through the campaign. We won. I went on as a community organizer. We won the campaign. 2012, I was a community organizer. 2012, I was the national co-chair for the finance committee for all the under 40-year-olds in the campaign. I opened the campaign for president. The campaign will open in Washington, D.C., to kick off the campaign 2012. I did the opening speech. And that taught me a lot of stuff. I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that it's possible. Everything is possible. You can do anything. There is no limit to what you can do. You shouldn't wait for no one to give you permission to what you can achieve. Being an immigrant doesn't mean that you cannot be at the decision table. Being an immigrant doesn't mean that you cannot be the one who's going to be in the leadership of this country, because it is your country like everyone else. Some will tell me, I don't have citizenship to be in a part of the system. I tell you, no. You don't need a citizenship to get involved. You don't even need a green card to be involved. When I was getting involved with the Young Democrats, I was not even a citizenship. I was not even a citizen. Some of my Senegalese friends will laugh at me, you're not even American, why would you get involved here in American politics? Because I live here, the decisions matters. If I can't vote, I can make people vote. I can convince folks to go vote. I can help to galvanize votes for them, to the politicians that I believe can defend my interest. I'm not going to wait till I have my passport then to exercise my rights. Because there's no way in the Constitution, I'm sure, in this country also, who say, well, you cannot get involved in politics because you're not a citizen of Canada. They might say you cannot vote, but that doesn't mean you cannot get involved. So the point I'm telling you here is that do not wait for permission. Don't wait for the green light from no one. We're all wealthy. We all have something to give. And we all can be that person who can sparkle the change, the ripple of hope that Dr. King talked about and Barack repeated, that the world needs. Each one of us has given, God has given us something that in us, that if we have the courage to acknowledge, if we have the courage to find it, and we have the courage to work on it, we can not only change our lives, but we can change the lives of many across the world. There is no secret to that. Everyone who we remember today, everyone, we remember them because of not the money they made, the fame they did, the many likes on Facebook and Instagram. We remember them because of the life they lived to change people's lives for generations to come. So my calling into every young person today is, I want you to ask yourself indeed, what is it, that gift that you got? Stop sitting on it. Have the courage, dare, osez, to follow your dreams, because into following your dreams, you will change people's lives. Whatever it might take you, take the sacrifices necessary to have the gut to be who you are, because the success that you see on TV, many see the examples of beautiful cars and money and such things, might not be what you need to change lives, because those who are really making the impact are not into that. In my conversation with Akon, when we first had this conversation about what Akon Lighting Africa was, that I said, Akon, listen, bro, you have all these followers on Facebook, 52 million followers. In 2 minutes, you can tweet, the entire world knows about it. Dr. King didn't have a Facebook follower. Gandhi didn't have it. President Kennedy didn't have it. Nelson Mandela had the jail cell. Couldn't even write a letter. They would wait for years for that letter to come out. But he's changed people's lives. What are you going to do with it? This is how we started to do Akon Lighting Africa, which today in 16 countries, changing the lives of Africans across the continent. If we can do that, you can do the same. But please, you are not a simple immigrant. You are a citizen like everyone. And wait not for the paper to tell you when you start your life. Because we're not going to start our lives when we have citizenship. Because that's not what's going to define us. I've been there, I've lived it. I don't want you to wait for a green card to start living your life, because it is today, it's not tomorrow. You are not defined by the positions that you have, the paperwork that you got, or the degrees that you have. What you define is the core of who you are. And that's what I'm asking for us, to find that core so we can be a blessing to the world. Go out there and tell someone, show someone, help someone to let them know that they are not alone in this world. Because a lot of people in the world feel that they are alone, unfortunately. Go out there and make someone feel special. In the midst of it, as I said, if you do it, you will feel more special about yourself. So,